Hello everybody, Chris here, and in this video I'm going to be doing my unboxing for my Xiaomi Redmi Note 4X phone, which is supposed to be a really solid budget phone, good specs, good price. Paid about $130 for it, and the benchmarks were saying, as I did in a previous video, I'll probably link that in the description, that it has a performance on the Antutu benchmark that is equivalent, roughly, to the Samsung Galaxy A7. 2017 version. So that sounds pretty dang good to me. I'll have to test it out later. Okay, so as it turns out, it does appear to actually be in the original box. Just packaged it kind of weird. So as you can see, it's a Chinese brand phone, which would give some people some pause. I guess I'm willing to take a shot at it this time, rather than use some of the more standard brands like Asus or Samsung. And as you can see up here, hopefully, yeah, this old phone I'm recording on isn't actually that great, but what it says there is it's got 3 gigabytes of RAM and 32 gigabytes of ROM. Okay, so here's the actual phone. You can see I went with the black color. It's pretty gigantic. I'm actually going to put it right on top of my current phone right now. I don't remember what size the Moto X has, but this new phone's definitely a lot bigger. I'll try to pop it out here by kind of flipping it there. Hopefully in the future, whenever I record videos with the phone, it'll be a lot better. It's supposed to record in 1080p. So let me go ahead and take some of this other stuff out. I'll just kind of dump it a bit there. So user manual. I wonder if there's actually any English in there. Doesn't appear to be. That's okay. I probably don't need it. And power cable or USB cable. And okay, I think that's a USB cable, and then what you do is, yeah, you connect it to this power adapter if you need to plug it into the wall, which is pretty standard. Was the back case actually on there? Okay, no, I think the back case is on there. The only thing is that there's some stickers that I might need to take off later. So let me see, is there anything else in here? Not really. Hello everybody, Chris here again, and I'd like to continue my video with more of a first impressions of the Xiaomi Redmi Note 4X. I've had it for about 2 days now, and I haven't really had too much time to play around with it, but a little bit. So I've gone ahead, got Hearthstone installed, the Google Play Store installed, and most of the other apps that I'm really used to. So one of your concerns might be that if you do pick up a Chinese phone, the Xiaomi is from China, that you would have all of these Chinese apps, and you wouldn't really have access to the Google Play Store or things like that. And that does tend to be what you get out of the box. Xiaomi has their own set of apps. Haven't really had too much time to play around with them, but you can see some of them here. And it's going to be a little bit, you know, confusing if you're Westerner and you only speak English or something like that. But honestly, there's not really anything locking down the device. I was able to install Google Play and all the normal apps that we're used to here in the West with just basically going online, Googling how do you install Google Play, you download the APK, you install the APK, and then you install what other normal apps that you're used to, like Transact, LastPass Authenticator, LastPass, PayPal, or Hearthstone, which you actually get off of the Amazon Underground app up here. So I didn't really have any trouble whatsoever getting things set up. The specs of the device are exactly how they were listed, so if I pop this open here, you can see 3 gigabytes of RAM. In Android 6, which the Xiaomi Redmi Note 4X is running, this version of Android actually shows you how much RAM is being used as opposed to how much is available. And because it goes above 1 gigabyte sometime in RAM usage, I mean, especially if you have a game open like Hearthstone, I'm really glad that it has 3 gigabytes of RAM. Like, one of the things that really annoy me right now are not having enough RAM, like this laptop right under here, 8 gigabytes, 2017, if you're doing video editing or that kind of thing, I'd really rather have 16 gigabytes, but 3 gigabytes for a phone is pretty good. 2 absolute minimum these days, but yeah, if you can pick up a phone with 3 gigabytes, that's pretty nice. So of course it's got an octa-core processor, and overall it runs pretty fast. So if you open Facebook up, Spotify, any normal app, it's just going to run flawlessly. Like, you can see absolutely no delay in switching between the screens there. And in Hearthstone, or, whoops, in Hearthstone or really any kind kind of game that does have more graphical intensive processing, you may experience a little bit of slowdown. So this phone, once again, I was able to pick it up for a fraction of the price. I got it for a good deal at $128, whereas something that scores by Antutu benchmark, and actually I'll put the official Antutu benchmark into this video so that we can confirm if the online scores were correct. But it was saying that the Galaxy A7 2017 version scored about the same as this phone, but that phone costs several hundred more dollars. So for the price you're paying, I think this phone has been really sweet. It's much better than the phone I'm actually using up here to record this video on. And so I would say having bought this was a good experience. Had no trouble just popping in a SIM card and getting my network to work with it. Had no trouble really installing Google Play, though there's not the default apps. Can't really, well, it would take a long time to actually go through all of these. Maybe in the more full-featured review video, if I do one of those, I might cover some of these apps. But yeah, I think it's easier to just kind of stick to what you know. So in this case, being able to easily install the apps, getting them all up and running, didn't really have too much trouble with that at all. Xiaomi Redmi Note 4X seems to be so far just a really solid budget phone. Once again, I grabbed it for like 130 bucks. Has 3 gigabytes of RAM, 8-core processor, runs Hearthstone pretty well, and pretty much any Android game beyond that is going to run fine. But if you pop open the settings menu, all you have to do is go to additional settings, language and input, and any keyboard that you have currently installed, you can just change that over like that. So switch to the LastPass keyboard, pretty easy, or Chia keyboard, or whatever you happen to be using. Go keyboard for all I care. So the battery life has also been really good. If you have it in sleep mode, I'm sure it could stay on for days. And beyond that, I think that's pretty much going to be it for this video. That's about all I can comment on it right now. And I will see you guys hopefully in my future video content.